How's it going, guys, and welcome back to a trade recap. Obviously, if you follow the channel, you'll know that I haven't done a trade recap for a while now. It's not something that I like to post all that often, just for the simple fact is, if I posted a trade recap every time I took a trade, my YouTube channel would just be full of trade recaps, and that's not what I want, just to spam videos for the sake of it. And I want to provide more educational kind of things and hopefully help people out within their trading journey and things like that. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll drop a trade recap every now and again when I think there might be a little bit of value within these for you guys. But overall, as you can see, we'll just start on the daily chart as per usual. And so obviously, if you are trading EU, you will know that we've been bearish now for quite a while. And what we're seeing on the most recent price action is we had a break to the downside right here. So we have a break to the downside. We have a break to the downside right here. And this candle here is today's candle. And at the point of me getting up this morning, this hadn't actually closed below. It had only swept. But at the moment, it looks like it's actually closed, which it looks like it's going to do now when this candle closes. But when I first come to the charts this morning, it hadn't actually closed. So what I was thinking was going to happen is we were just going to sweep these lows. And then, we might come a little bit higher, up into maybe to this supply or this supply. So on the daily chart, we've got this supply right here. So we've got this supply, we've got this inside bar, which is a nice supply at the extreme. And, that's the overall idea of the daily time frame. So what I did then is I dropped down onto the 4 hour. So dropping onto the 4 hour, you will see that we've actually closed below. So we closed below on the 4 hour right here. So this would be our last break of structure to the downside on the 4 hour. So at the moment we are currently bearish on the daily, we are bearish on the 4 hour. So that would be our 4 hour break to the downside. And what I was seeing on the 4 hour is that obviously this low failed to put in a new high, making this weak. So it's obviously come down, it's broken structure, and what can you expect after a break of structure? You can expect a pullback. So at least I was thinking, we were going to come somewhere up into this supply with this little range, being so small, because what we're seeing here is we are seeing that we are starting to respect supply ranges. So we've got this one here, and then we've got this one here, and then this one here. But what we are getting now is we are getting a supply chain. So we've got this big candle right here, which obviously then got mitigated by this, and then I'm thinking, a break below, a pullback on the 4 hour into this, and then continue expectational order flow, and come down and break these lows. So at minimum, what I was thinking is that we might come up into the supply before continuing down, and yeah, so that's the 4 hour. Onto the 15-minute now. And when I come to the charts this morning, it was around this time. I got to the charts around 6:30. So this is what the charts looked like when I got here this morning. And what I was seeing is we had a 15-minute bullish change of character right here. So we had a take of the low, a take of the high, and then as you can see, we started getting bearish order flow. And then what we got, and what I could see, is we got this take of the low. We got a take of the high. So then, as you can see, order flow on the 15-minute then switched bullish. So what we've got is we've got this nice supply zone right here. Everything else is pretty much mitigated, in my opinion. You could argue we've got this, maybe something in this wick, maybe something in this wick right here. But I was thinking once we broke through this, and if this price action did flip this supply zone to demand, we could see price come up into at least this 4 hour zone, which is this one right here. So what I was seeing is this, and I was just seeing what was going to happen to price, and so I was just waiting patiently and seeing what was happening. As you can see, we do get a reaction to this supply, showing us that there is orders within there, and then we come lower, and eventually we do take out that supply zone, and then we do continue with quite a bit of momentum. So what I was thinking then is, where could we then get involved? So what I was seeing is this little doji here, so and covering them wicks as well. So we've got this demand zone right here, and if we came back into this demand zone, I was happy to take a trade to the upside in order to target somewhere up here. So that's the overall story on the 15-minute, and the overall story on all the time frames, to be fair. So at this point, what I did is just simply waited for a tap into my demand. So as you can see, we get a tap now into my demand. Now dropping down onto the 1 minute, what I was seeing, you know, we've also tapped into this refined 1 minute zone right here, which added a little bit of confluence that this zone, you know, could hold. So obviously we've come down, we've tapped into this 1 minute refined zone within this 15 minute, and we are now getting a reaction. So what I was waiting for is just to see if we got an entry model. So as you can see, what happened is we come down, we took this low. So we took this low, we took this high, and I was waiting for my change of character, which we did end up getting. But at this point, I was happy to set an order. But what happened is, you know, price did actually move a little bit too fast, and I didn't actually set an order on this. I was happy to set one, but I wasn't actually quick enough to get involved in this trade right here. So it was a little bit disappointing when I missed this trade, but I was just waiting and seeing what was happening with price. And, you know, my overall story was for price to come higher. So, you know, it is what it is. And I was happy to just see how price developed and see if I could get in a continuation. So price is coming up now, and what I did see is this supply right here, and I was thinking if we get a reaction to this supply and this supply does fail, I was happy to get involved in a continuation of, you know, this initial trade right here. So price was coming up. What we did is we got a nice reaction, and then as you can see the reaction did continue, which is brilliant. So what I was waiting for then is I was waiting for a fail, for this reaction to fail. And then if this reaction did fail, I was happy to then set an order. So what you'll see happens is that price comes up and then this reaction does fail right there. So at this point, what I was thinking is we've had a reaction to this supply. This reaction has now failed. So the likelihood is we are going to go higher. So I was happy to set an order right here. So what I did is I set an order at the open. So I set an order at the open and I add a 2.3 pip stop loss. And what I did is I targeted 10R because at the moment, me personally, I am just targeting 10R. I've been doing that for quite a while now. Targeting 10R for me is just a little bit of a way to, you know, trade a little bit more stress-free, because what I can do is I can set my order, and once it passes my break-even point, I could just go break-even, then it can hit stop loss or it can hit break-even. Obviously, if I don't get my break-even point, it'll just hit stop loss. So yeah, it's absolutely fine either way. But, you know, this is what I've been doing for quite a while, so that was my target, 10R. And then what you will see is that price does come back down and it does tag us in. So it tags us in with this doji here, and my break even point was this, where this pullback started. So that's break even. So that would be my break even line. And as you can see, this trade was an absolute rocket. It just, once it tagged me in, it just took off. And, you know, it take profit very, very quickly. So this trade, you know, overall, it's probably one of my best trades that I've ever taken in terms of, you know, the time it took to take profit. So yeah, a very stress-free trade right here, because there's literally, once I'm tagged in, it's literally just a straight push now to take profit. There's no pullbacks or anything like that. But yeah, guys, that's just about it for this trade recap. If this trade recap did provide any value, please leave a like on this video. If you have any questions, as always, drop them in the comment section down below. And without further ado, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.